evening, Greater Collective. We'll just see what comes out. I was getting ready for bed. Kind of felt a little down today, but that always happens after freaking channeling for the full moon. Just to give everyone some stuff to think about, new ways to think about things. And, well, as we're slowly getting better at ourselves, it's about, they say baby steps, but it's not really like that. It's kind of like, it's not even really like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's not really it either. It's kind of like, I don't know a good metaphor for it. It's like, I don't really want to do it. Oh man, if I don't want to do it, then I probably should. And then getting it out of the way. And then being like, okay, I'm glad that's over. Got the t-shirt again. And then you get bored. Or something just all of a sudden it's like, hey, what? You're on in 5. What? Got some liquid courage? It always seems to go smoother when the spirit's in there, At the same time, fuck, it's draining. Especially listening to all that goddamn music. Half of it which I don't like. Anymore, I don't even hardly ever listen to music. Except for when I'm doing a channel playlist. For spirit. For all of you. It used to be, say, a year or 2 ago. I've been slowly going through my old playlists. And seeing all the crap that I put in there when I was drinking. And just, getting it all out. So they can use it against me later, I suppose. And looking at all that stuff, man, I have a hard time even reading it. I just pull up the description, I'm just like, oh god, there's a lot of words here. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it, I'll just close it. or be like, yeah, delete this one. I've almost deleted 1,000 of them in the last month. Down to about 1,090 or so. Out of the 7,000 or 8,000 I made. But we're moving away from that, That's why I wanted to put on a good show last night. Whatever. Get some shit out of the way. Since, well, every song is automatically put into a context if taken out of context. Put like that, it kind of makes things look a little different, don't it? So, and at the same time, when you're closed up in your mind, and especially when I'm channeling, well, then I'm portraying the mind as ego, but as the little guy. And all the people I'm going through are more like the big bullies. And the title is like what that one brain cell would say. That one that's on that 51 link, that special thing that I can do with 51 and 313 and whatever, the angel numbers. Yeah, it's a good part of the trick. But it's probably best I drink beer. Oh, so what I'm saying is, so then everything steps down slowly, but it's not really slow. It's like, everything's going good for a week. And then, I don't know, just Okay, now we can go again. Good for a week. Because I am so cooped up, as I've been for so long, by all the forces around me. I'm hoping it's for a reason. There's a lot of trust. That's all I really got. I mean, shit. When you got $0 and everyone's made sure that you owe money and then knocked you down, so they have everything. Well, I'm glad that I'm in a safe spot now where I don't need anything. I mean, but I need everything still. But really, everything, shit, comes down to really three things, and they're fairly simple: love, good relationship, but not just with one, but with many as well. Because that's one thing that I find sad about relationships is how people get in relationships and they kind of close off the rest of the world, or then they have to have their friend group, you know. But then it just causes problems when the relationship's together, you know. And so the two things really should go together, I believe. And so relationship, figuring that one out from here, that's tricky. So many eyes on me. So many wishing for my downfall, cloning me, taking my stuff, trying to portray me, be me, and make sure that that nobody gets to see me, and that way they can block all the exits and take over who I am because they don't have a self of themselves, which is part of the reason, because of the ego and the nature of it, is why I've had to do things in this manner to cover all the bases. And everyone else is under the spell, and it's been cast all on one guy, one place, one thing, one code, one exactness, in a multitude everywhere and nowhere to be found, because everyone has to stand by me. But well, who's me, right? Especially if they can't stand next to me in real life. And if they're making a song, they're dancing on both sides and forward and back and spinning around your head and talking over here to this person, but you don't know who to talk to in this line. And that line, they're talking over that person. Next, they're talking over here. Next, they're talking down to you. Next, they're talking up. And so then, yeah, it's real groovy, huh? Yeah, don't know whether they're just walking on water. There's your music business. It's all spell work. That's it. For what it's worth. And I'm fine with how things are, you know. The things that make the ego just don't really do shit for me. I'm not made the same, I guess. But it gives me a huge advantage and a huge disadvantage because, well, I'm only ganged up on by 8 billion people. And, well, they don't need me inside, outside, anywhere. They'd rather have the guy on a cross in another building and they go visit it. Or, say, that's my baby out in the driveway. That's my me. All bought and paid for. That's mine. Oh yeah? Then why you gotta buy tags for it, huh? Oh. You make your own gasoline? The title's in your name, but it's the title. Meaning it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the state. Right? Otherwise they wouldn't be able to pull you over and take it from you. Because they own you and they own the car. separate from you and the car. And who's they? Because they had to all give up their rights to work for the law. So they're an entity without a face and without a foundation, coming at all the people, separate from the people, upholding what is kind of like Satan. And everyone's trying to balance it and be like, okay, what's right? What's wrong? Oh my God, stuff's complicated. Look at the fucking law library. Holy shit. Nobody needs that many fucking laws. I mean, shit. Life is not that hard. Relationship, purpose. I got a lot of purpose, but how to implement it. It's 10:51. And, well, money. Money is the last thing I fucking care about. And you know, if you have all the money in the world, you pretty much be stuck right here again. Just be like, well, I could go get a fucking kilo or whatever I want to get. Shit, I probably got one in the garage somewhere. I don't feel like that today. I can go take one of my 10 hot rods out. I can go impress people. Like, hey, look. Yeah, that's boring. Tired of that. Yeah, guess I'll talk to myself. Or come up with a plan on how to take over everybody else. Because I'm bored with my own life. That's what rich people do, I think. I don't know. But hey, all those three things, I think pretty much come in a package deal. Because to be in love and have the right one, that's infinite wealth. And it can easily be 75% of one's purpose. And straighten out the other 25%. Because that's the difficult part. I mean, I mentioned this before. Like, people get together and they're doing two different careers, right? And you got live in two different parts of town, and this and that, and then they have to combine it, and then then each one's having to commute here and there, and it's convenient for you or not for you, and man, it's just a big fucked up mess. When a marriage is supposed to be like, two people come together and then like parallel out, and then you double X on the spot or something, and then everything works out from there, and you're a team. Rather than pulling at each other at both ends and trying to headbutt each other at the same time as trying to run away from each other in the house, and then have your time together, and then your friends, and like somehow there's got to be an integration. And if all of a sudden I had a whole bunch of money, well, I got all kinds of purposes I could do. And well, then love's easy, because that's what I made sure to make sure that I'm broke, and I had to give everything away, and had everyone surround me in the media, in the music, prior, and setting my life up on the side against each's own angel, and double banking off of me and a corner slot, making their music spiraling together as I grew. How odd is that? And then to be put into both the healer and the wolf's den of readers, where anyone could just say the same thing every day and get 5,000 views, or things that are not really relevant. But see, the whole thing with tarot is they're trying to get everybody to walk away from themselves and to keep splitting themselves on the cards. So then how are you going to get back? Oh, manifesting. Who am I running to? Who am I running away from? Okay, I'm dividing it. So then the spirit's like, oh. So then that's why nobody reads like me. There's a couple of very gifted ones that I admire. But most people I sub to, I just like to keep an eye on things for now. And I like having a council of seeing everybody's moods day by day. Because they have all kinds of stuff where they got everybody fucked up in the head. So they can use everybody to the fullest potential and basically keep everybody running in the labyrinth in the rat race forever. And to make sure that I can't get up. And then anything I would say, then they could take that same statement and bust it so that it sounds all limerick like, and more like the way that they do the media against people's minds for advertising and marketing. And then people are like, oh yeah, that's good. When that version of what I said is totally sending them in the wrong direction. See, they're trying to keep everyone from ever being like parallel, like eye to eye, and on each of our own spots in the same resonance, so that no two people can meet. I mean, everything's about forcing everyone into marriage and tearing it apart, because that's how the system makes its money. And the laziest people there are probably the richest. And a lot of them aren't very educated either. Not that being educated is necessarily worth a lot. It can be. And purpose, well, every day of my life just existing is a great purpose. And each other individual should see that about themselves too. Each has to ground themselves. And when we're triggered by somebody, then that's a clue on what each person needs to work on when somebody triggers them. I had a comment. somebody just pretty much spoke for everyone in a comment reply, and said that I'm the whole reason that everyone in the world is healing. It's all on me. I'm thinking, oh damn. Well, so then are you gonna pay me or some shit? Fucking a lot of people making money off of healing one guy they ain't even met. And I'm that famous? Damn, my numbers are kind of low. Saying I'm toxic. Well, he's pointing a finger, saying you're the problem with the whole world. Have you looked up that word before? I'm not talking to you, there's an objective way to talk, you know. Well, when people take it personal, well, that's the ego. Getting wrapped up in itself. That's them snakes. So every day I'm alive, I'm grateful, and it's a blessing. Even if I just sit here in silence. While everyone's out there looking for love, looking for some mentor, looking for somebody to talk to, looking for somebody just to care about them, looking for somebody like me. Instead, fuck, do you see who got elected? I don't know if there's a whole lot of good people. I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just saying that it doesn't look good on the news. I wouldn't want them to be my parents, I don't think. I mean, sure, it'd be nice. Hey, Pops, can I get $1 million? I'm in Russia. Yeah, the Russians stole my laptop. It's got me with about 12 hookers and some cocaine and a crack pipe. Can you get me out of that? They're probably gonna put it on television. Ah, you're fine, son. You're Biden. We'll get you out of it. You don't even drop the illegal gun charges. You're free to go. Damn. That guy's got kids. I think he's married today. I couldn't be clean and good enough because they make sure that everyone stays away from me, except for when I'm fucked up. And then everybody can come in. A good joke. It's proven. Well, okay, so everyone's on meth. They only want to hang around with. They only want to hang around with their own kind, not somebody that's sober and clear. I don't know. It's just I'm just talking shit. It's been dragging today after those videos this morning. Because I don't even like drinking beer. But if I'm drinking beer, I gotta drink like fucking 10 of them. But hey, at least you come down from that, you know. That'll be good for a week. And do it for the full moon, you know. I guess that's what inspired it. And then I watched my video when I was drinking. But I knew I'd remember that video. But the funniest thing is, see, I don't really plan my videos. I don't like sit down and write shit out. I always fly on a stream, on the jet stream. There's no plan. And if there is, it's real minor, like, okay, I want to touch this point. And then it just comes out. But then later on, I'll come back and watch my own video, which I do on rare occasion. I don't really too much. And that motherfucker's funny. I don't think I'm that funny or that clever. But when I sit back and like I'm watching somebody else's videos, and I watch, I'm like, that's a good one. That's a good one. See, that proves that I'm void of ego. Like, I'm not alike. We're not the same. I'm all here, or I'm all open. And it's both. And, you know, there's not this black and white checkerboard and snakes and two talking, like, you know, none of that goes on. See, and that's the weird thing, that they've trained it in so that a form of basic schizophrenia is called normal. Normal is a schizophrenia, basic, where people talk to themselves, but then when they talk to themselves, they talk to themselves not like they're talking with or to themselves. It's like their own head is standing next to their head, talking to their head apart from, but in it. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I can't judge. Schizophrenic people, major schizophrenic people, are always really impressed. We spend some time talking, whether drinking, whatever, sober, and I listen to them, you know. I don't judge anybody for nothing, you know. Might as well get it all out. And I tell them, you know, what I think of stuff, and they're like, holy shit, you're like the only person. None of my doctors fucking understand a fucking thing. You should fucking be my doctor. Yeah, I looked into that, and no, that's not the path for me. Not like that, anyway. Maybe a personal consultant. We could call it that, but I'm not going to be a doctor. It's a little too deep in, red tape and binding contracts and people's lives in my hands, but they're not in my hands. They're in the system's hands, but this is just a bunch of bullshit. Too many layers. That ain't even good cake. So I guess, yeah, I just watched the one where I was drinking. It cracked me up a couple times. Obviously, you can tell if I've had some drinks. It sounds a little bit different. That's just water and Pepsi. So, I don't know, 2451. Just wanted to chat with my greater collective out there. You even want to see me this evening? I want to spend some time because I spend several hours a day with all of you. I don't. Sometimes I go a long time without commenting on anybody's page. Sometimes I'll comment one. Sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I have like 20 windows open. Boom. Ah, that's a good one. Oh, should have married you. I remember that time. Much love. It's like going down the line, like, okay, good game. Good game, good game. All right, now I'm going to bed. Sorry, it looks funny in text, don't it? But hey, everyone else is divided. Shit, I gotta do a divided exchange too, but it's all whole. It's still just the same, Josh. You can make it look however you want to make it look, but the reality is the reality. We have, hopefully, some good news is coming my way, but that's what worries me. We have Rita of Cassia, the patroness of impossible causes. Another version of the most epic Durga Maya, the chief deity, the primordial deva that all the gods of India come from. Just that one. Her and her brother Vishnu. Durga Maya. She's the one of impossible causes. Well, I guess if she wasn't looking after me, they probably would have killed me at birth. Hell, they probably made clones of me at birth. I wouldn't be surprised. That's the reality of it. If they knew there was only one guy coming and they just had to do something with but they didn't know how things were gonna go, of course they're gonna evil does evil shit, and it works its way through every facet and in the most sterile environments, especially when there's a whole bunch of doors and locks and licenses and parameters in it. And you can be like, well, you wake up tomorrow and your whole family will be dead, or you give me that tissue sample. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow? Yeah, because I might need another one if this one isn't viable. So you better be looking out for me. The world's creepy. I am miraculous. My prayers create powerful channels of possibility. Freya, the goddess of discernment. I spend my time wisely, and I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Let's do it. Well, that's not true. I wasn't sure about making this reading tonight, but I have anything better to do. Not that this is the worst thing, but sometimes I'm just motivated to be here for you, and other times I'm not. So I'm just talking to everyone. I'm talking to no one. But if the camera's off, shit, I know I'm never alone. So everyone else might as well be in on the conversation. And then at least it has some kind of direction it's going. Not that I like talking to myself. It's not a thing. I spent most of my life in my headphones or in silence otherwise. Ooh. So, what we gotta be aware of. Just give me one more. Looks like this one wanted to be it. Give me one more here. Well, Well, so it looks like we got the Ace of Swords to begin with. Some kind of success. Some kind of great force is approaching. Either for myself or for you watching. There's signs that travel may be coming up. And one might need to conceal their plans. And plans may be concealed as to what is approaching. You're reminded. Oh, there's a hidden card. Two stuck together. Well, I'll get to that one in a minute. I see why. So it looks like there might be a masculine approaching you. But then again, that could be me in my own reading. But it reminds the viewer to watch out for duplicity, to look over everything that comes your way and any offer that seems too good to be true. If you're already stable, then don't tip the balance and be self-destructive or chase an offer that might be coming up. Because a lot of those promises could easily just be to get you to change your mind. And once you're off your path, you change your mind, sometimes there's no way to go back. So right now is a time of patience. Finally, we got, look at this one real quick. Sometimes I like using the book. Like I said, I like flying by the seat of my pants. Sometimes I do intuitive readings. Sometimes I want to look. Sometimes I have a layout. Sometimes I don't. But everything happens supposedly like it's supposed to in the moment, in divine timing. So, finally, we got 3251. We got our, You know, and since I know so much, you know, I'm not a know-it-all or anything, but if somebody has a question or whatever, the channel just comes out. It just answer. And so, you know, I hope it's comforting that I don't know everything. And everyone else became pros at this. And I don't want to be all perfect and cardboard cutout and shit. At the same time, I don't want to be too loose. So, I think relationships should be automatically somewhat formal, but in a casual way. I mean, who's rushing anyone else? And if anyone's in a hurry or, you know, watching something, it's funny how we can watch a movie where there's all these boring ass scenes and you're just watching like 5 minutes of silence and this person walks in the rain to this building. You watch them walk up the stairs and then, you know, doot, 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 it's a sound and you know, and there's nothing going on, right? But you're like, what's gonna happen next? But then when there's like somebody there that's important, right? Then see, there's that ego. It just wants to be like, not here, not here. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Can I go? What's the point of this conversation? I want to go stare at the wall and watch it paint dry. As long as it's on the television. I like to make fun of television just because the way I was raised, or the way I raised myself. Once I could figure that part out, since nobody else wanted to take any part in that. So, finally I'll get to it, god dang. So then finally, we're show that there might be a gift and gratification presents coming up. But it says to, it cautions the viewer, of course it's for entertainment purposes only. I don't know why anybody's got to say that on YouTube. There's all kinds of shit that doesn't. They only want to hit certain groups and certain people, you know. And then not tell you, you know, unless they do want to tell you. But then they make a big deal out of it. Still cautions everyone to maintain attentiveness. There might be some big change coming out, possibly some gains or some get together, but there's some deception going on, and that's what the reading has for us this moment. Let me just pull a couple random cards off the top of these other decks here. See if we can get some clarification on that. Because, I don't know, it seems like a pretty good this for me. God damn, it's been a long time coming. If I was reading this for somebody else, I'd be like, you about to get paid. Where we need to establish better boundaries. That's a question. Especially when we've had to come out like this. Where I'm the sanest, easiest going, nicest person. At the same time as I don't put up with people's shit. You know, I'm not going to start a fight with nobody, but if I say, hey, you know, don't do that. And you didn't, and you do it anyway, well, the door's closed. Kinda, you know. But usually, I don't, you know, all my relationships are pretty close. Or, you know, what's close? So, I'm reminding everyone that where do you need to establish better boundaries? But that's challenging because most people have so many boundaries and yet none at all, like this blind spot, right? And I guess that's kind of what all my work that you could see on Instagram of different formats and some of the stuff, mainly the playlist stuff on here, is meant to break boundaries. And it's totally fucking bound. And my face isn't even in there. My voice isn't in there. On most of it. So that's a pretty good fucking boundary. That's all their shit. And my text alongside of it. Which, anymore, it's just pinky finger to the moon. Oh, looks like Venus is in 1951 in Aries. At the same time as Taurus is 51 minutes in Pisces. And Pluto's at 000 in Aquarius. That's coincidental. Huh. Well, bam. If the title don't mean nothing, and this don't mean nothing, now I guess everything that comes after doesn't mean nothing either. Or maybe that's the important part. You know? Are we working together or are we not? Or is it just my thing? Some boundaries. Reminded. especially if you have this deal coming out or something, then that's going to be important for you as the viewer or for me as the reader. Because I'm not talking about, well, your person and the person on your mind, or the masculine would like to say, and the feminine would like to say. What we don't do this kind of readings really. We meaning I. I'm just spending time as I am, who I am, as if you met me. Well, pretty much kind of the same. Might be more exciting though. If we were actually, if there was anybody that did anything in the world. That's funny. That's funny. This doesn't really have to do with our reading, but I was listening to somebody else's reading. And so, like, there's this concept in the Bible, right? But it's not in the Bible. It is and it isn't. There was a woman before Eve. But the story is all twisted, you know? I mean, because it's an allegory, but it's this and that and the other thing, right? That there was a woman before Eve named Lilith. It was the first wife of Adam. That she was whole, just like Adam. But then she didn't want to be his little slave bitch. She wanted to be equal. He didn't like that. So she's the first woman. So this is the divine feminine. This is the Durga Maya thing. In every culture, they got to take the woman, fucking face plant her ass, and be like, yeah, come up and beg. Oh, well, you can hold on to money and the babies. Okay. I'll buy you stuff. You look pretty, smell good. Okay. Here, boy. Here, boy. That's not a good way to look at women, is it? But that's how society does it. So Lilith was supposedly cast out of the garden first. And then that's why, well, God said, well, we'll make this woman a part of you. But I'll take a piece out of you and turn it into her. And now she's your helper. Now you have a helper instead of another man that's got everything you want, but she's going to do whatever she wants. And supposedly, after Cain killed Abel, then Cain was kicked out of the garden, or left the garden. And then he was cursed by 3 angels with these invincible curses that basically made him God on earth. And then he ran into Lilith. And then they had a kid. Because she's the only other bad motherfucker that's not like a savage outside the garden. As if. Savage, Adam and Eve seem pretty fucking childlike, you know. But then, oh, Cain and Lilith, they're the bad motherfuckers, you know. They got kicked out of the garden. They're the monsters. But outside the garden, there's other people. It says so in the Bible. So they're like, so Adam and Eve are the babies. And they kicked the ones out. So, that's a weird-ass story. Well, then they had Enoch. And they built the first city and named it after their son. So then what happened to Adam and his family in the garden? So Cain supposedly founded civilization. If we go to the UN building in, I don't know, it's Belgium or somewhere, Denmark, I don't know. There's a building that I think it might look like the Tower of Babel. But anyway, they have this huge mural. You don't have to look it up on YouTube, on Google. There's a mural inside the United Nations building showing and displaying and honoring the life and contribution of Cain for establishing all of humanity. There is. Showing him plotting the stars. Showing him metalworking. Showing him setting up the festivals in all the towns. As the hero. right? But Lilith, the first woman, I am the voice of my body and soul. Yeah, they make it seem like, oh, she's the lady of the night. She's like a hooker. Oh, she's a badass. No man can tame her. But she can fucking knock 10 of them down in one night. She's a bad bitch. Adam wanted some little prancy little thing in the story. It's like, what? We're not supposed to go to that tree? Hey, what's that? Serpent? You're a lot bigger than he is. You know, if you give me that apple, I'll let you do something to me. It seems like there's a version of the story like that. And that Cain was actually the product of Eve and the serpent. There's so many variations of the story, right? But it's really, the story always puts down women. I choose the life that I desire to live. That's a pretty empowering fucking statement. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, man or woman or whatever. I choose the life that I desire to live. I am the voice of my body and soul. So that's an amazing card. There's nothing dark about it. Just the story is all manipulated. But then they put that in the book of Enoch. Oh, but they put the book of Enoch. That's Cain's son. What? But then there's another Enoch. At least one more. They gotta keep mixing it up. But then there's Tubal Cain. Oh, but there was Cain. Oh, but then there's another. They gotta keep mixing it up. And that, by continually dividing the source, is exactly how I was manifested as a being. For what it's worth. Ain't no lie. And by continually making each person run away from themselves or split themselves and then make a projection and then be like, oh, well, what if we do it the other way? Make everything collapse in on itself. Oh, shit. He might actually show up. What do you think he's going to be like? Oh, no. Let's hope he's not too stupid or too smart. Let's hope he's a good guy. Not too good. Let's hope he's a bad motherfucker, but not too bad. Let's hope he's not too powerful, but he's really powerful. Let's hope that he doesn't have any powers and we can just get through this. Through what? The rest of humanity's existence when the whole thing's been like waiting to move forward and they keep sending the world backwards and then making it look like it's going forwards and then collapsing it on themselves and dividing it and then splitting it and then turning it over and just basically pitching a blanket. Like nothing's ever going anywhere. And now they want it so that the computers will take over. They want to keep people as stupid and as limited as possible. And then each person to be just a little electron running around in a fucking maze, trapped inside their head, plugged in. And then, now we own the fucking world. Now all the billionaires can just sit around and jerk off and do cocaine. And who the fuck cares? There's nobody out there. There's 8 billion zombies, And that's a real fear of the future. So that's why it's important for each and every in the so-called Age of Aquarius to get on themselves and be that pillar of light and to learn as much as you fucking can about the world. And teach your kids. Don't let everything else teach them. And if you're going to, then, you got to be in on that. Like, just give us, we got here. We got Holy shit. It says to everyone, keep your sights aimed high. Keep your vibration high. And be wary of anyone singing your praises. More so than those you know that don't give a shit what you say. Like my mom. Yeah. I don't know. Everyone's under a spell. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Whether she was paid to be this way. She's expecting something. If the spell work on the world did it to her. Or some kind of grudge with Jesus or her mom or the code. I don't know. But we're told that everything is possible. And like it said, like Lilith reminded us, it's important to decide the life we want to live. And I suppose that's perfect advice for me in this moment as well. As we're left with the Ace of Pentacles, the Magician, and normally I like this for normal. I like it better upside down today. And somebody else had this card today. Queen of Wands inverted on top of the Queen in Wands inverted. And that's the last card coming out. Of course, that's who I was thinking about before I started this reading. Not that she probably thinks about me at all, or very much, or what's there to think about, right? I want to... Why not? I want to see what the Queen of Wands inverse update wants to suggest. So the Ace of Pentacles is perfection and contentment, felicity, ecstasy, speedy intelligence, gold, money, all the good shit. All right. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. So, that third one, the Queen of Wands in reverse, shows that the prosperity and good things likely coming, but that with that much abundance prior and tied to the Queen of Wands in verse third, automatically creates something, like I was saying, is reminding us to be aware, especially for anything that seems to be sucking up, or any sudden offers without something on paper, including your freedoms, not just what you're going to get. So be on the lookout for opposition, jealousy, deceit, and infidelity. Because more money, more problems. And when people think good things are coming to you, and if they don't get to be a part of it, then I don't know why they would care suddenly. When they all... See, that's the funny thing, why God does that. You could say God. Make sure that, oh, yeah, see, this is the runt. We don't want this one. See, he's all messed up. He's on drugs. He's got a droopy eye, you know. We don't want that one. We want this one. This one's good. This one's fun. This one's playful. We could train this one, you know. He's quirky in the right way, you know. This one now. And then that one turns into a monster, or so, whatever. It's just like ordinary. And then the one, like, nah, not that one. Something wrong with that one. That one's different. Then that one turns into the fucking, the fastest greyhound in all countries of the world. The owner's taking that one. Okay, let's go to Westminster. Let's fucking, this dog can probably talk. I haven't tried to teach it yet. Maybe that's next year for his third year. He's already beaten every dog in the world running. Damn. Nobody wanted him either. That's fucking weird. Guess they didn't deserve him. So why would anybody get jealous when they throw away their blessing? Of a person, especially. For just a little. Or people are a lot more important than that. All of them, I think.